Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for September the 3rd. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy. After that, I'll pull one card for each sign, and then we'll look at how those energies meld together. All right, overall energy shows up as, what do we have? The Knight of Wands. Okay, this is interesting. Knights are talking about action, wands talk about inspiration, enthusiasm. So we're taking some kind of action that is inspiring us and that is bringing out our enthusiasm, our creative juices. So this is going to be an active day, a fun active day, probably. All right, let's see what's going on around that. We're going to start with Aries. Boom, ba-do-do. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Aries, you guys are taking some kind of action here to upgrade your sense of security and stability in your life with this card coming up here. Woo woo, we like it. Taurus. Taurus, Four of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands coming up in the overall. You're taking up some kind of action so that you can set some money aside or set some kind of material good aside for the future. So you may be doing something to create more income, or you may be doing something to just make sure that you're holding back on what you have. Very cool. Next up, we're looking at Gemini. Gemini with the High Priestess. This just tells me that you are taking some kind of action to improve your skills and abilities whenever it comes to working with energy in one way or another, whether that's psychic stuff, medium stuff, whether that is shamanistic type stuff, but working with energy and taking some kind of action to actually improve your work with energy. So some type of practice, exploration, something like that coming in here. And then looking at Cancers. King of Pentacles showing up in reverse. What is going on here? Boop, ba-do-do, do-do, ba-do, do-do. What's happening here? This is really interesting, Cancers. I feel like with that King of Pentacles in reverse, you've got, I'm going to say you're comfortable, all right? You wish you had more. You wish you had enough that you could invest somewhere, somehow, whether that's investing in yourself or something else. But with this Knight of Wands coming up here, I think that you are finding ways to improve your financial situation today. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. All right, so that's for Cancers. Next up, let's look at Leo. Okay, so Leo's Temperance card showing up here for you guys. Leos, I think that you're making some changes to your routine so that you can bring more balance into your life today. And I think these are changes that you're feeling pretty enthusiastic about. You like the idea of balance in your life. Excuse me. Now, some of you could be taking some kind of inspired changes to make sure you're also more sober and straight. Temperance does talk about soberness as well sometimes. So that could be. But I really like that whole balance idea because that covers sobriety, number one, but it also covers a whole lot of things that can be out of balance in our life. We can be spending too much time working and not enough time with our family or revitalizing ourselves even. So definitely working on balance, doing something that feels good to bring more balance into your life today for those of you with Leo placements. Next up, we're looking at Virgo. Queen of Pentacles showing up in reverse with that Knight of Wands and the overall what's happening here. Oh goodness. Okay, yes. So with the Queen of Pentacles on reverse, Virgos, there's somebody that you've been being very generous to in hopes that that will help them get a leg up. However, they haven't really been using it that way. In fact, they're just becoming more dependent on you rather than more independent. So your inspired action that you're taking today is actually to cut off that generosity to that person or that group so that they are kind of forced to become more independent since it wasn't working to do it the way you were doing it. All right. And I think that, those decisions are hard to make, but I think that it feels good. Whether you want to say that out loud or not, I don't know, but I think that it feels good. All right, so that was who? That was Virgo. Next up, we're looking at Libra. Okay, so Libra's Five of Swords showing up in reverse. This just tells me with our overall energy in this card that you are taking some kind of inspired action to bring peace to a situation, to bring calm to a situation. And this can be something where maybe you were having a hard time finding peace or calm. Maybe you were in debate or conflict with somebody. But this can also be about if you are, helping a couple of people who can't see eye to eye or a couple of parties who can't see eye to eye actually get on a good page. So your inspired action could be a great idea about how these two parties can actually agree on something, or how you and somebody else can actually agree on something, some kind of compromise that will work for everybody. That could very easily be coming in for you today. Okay, so that was who? That was Libra. That makes sense because you guys are all about fairness and evenness. So interesting. Let's move on to Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio. All right, Ace of Pentacles showing up in reverse. So Scorpios, our inspired action that we're taking today has to do with giving somebody else some kind of gift or opportunity, one or the other. So giving someone a gift or opportunity is our inspired action. I like it. I like it. Next up, we're looking at Sagittarius. Sagittarius with the Seven of Swords showing up in reverse. What's happening here? Okay, so with this Knight of Wands coming in here, this is telling me that your inspired action that you're taking today actually has to do with going back to something that you had gotten away from before. And I think when you got away from it before, you kind of got away from it on the down low. You didn't make a big announcement that you were leaving whatever this was behind. Now you're going back to whatever that was, and it feels inspired. It feels good. It feels right at this point. So we like that. So who was that? That was Sagittarius. Next up, we're looking at Capricorn. Capricorn, Three of Cups showing up for you guys. What a beautiful card, actually. So Capricorn, this just talks about you're having some kind of inspired action that is about spending time with friends. Maybe you have a great idea about how you can spend some time with friends, Maybe you're envisioning a campfire or hiking or a canoe trip. I don't know. Are we into skiing yet? Probably not yet. Um, but definitely some kind of inspired idea that you're taking, some action that you're taking about spending some time together with friends. Maybe you're inviting everybody over to your house for a dinner party. Who knows? Anyway, spending time together with friends, I feel like you're kind of the catalyst with this being the overall energy with the Knight of Wands. Okay, next up, let's look at Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, Seven of Wands showing up in reverse with the Knight of Wands. This is a really interesting combination to me because the Seven of Wands in reverse talks about this idea of opening up to somebody, not being defensive, kind of actually even being a little bit vulnerable. So sharing information with somebody that, could be a little bit risky maybe. Of course, I'm coming from a Scorpio standpoint on that. So my standards on that may be a little bit different than a lot of other people's. But opening up to somebody and really sharing information, and that's really your inspired action that you're taking. Like it just feels right, and you're doing this enthusiastically. And I don't know if the microphone is picking up the little boy screaming upstairs, but he's just barely 5 and he refused a nap, and so now he's a little tired and a little grumpy and still not wanting to take a nap. So I apologize if you guys are picking that up on the mic. Let's see. Next up, we are looking at Pisces. So Pisces, we do have an Eight of Wands showing up here. So we've got the Knight of Wands and the overall with the Eight of Wands. This just tells me that you're taking some inspired action today that involves a lot of communication back and forth. This can be text messages, email messages, WhatsApp, whatever. Digital messages, basically, a lot of times shorter type messages when you've got the Eight of Wands. So these are things that these messages are going back and forth and around very quickly, maybe even quickly enough you have to kind of really stay attentive to make sure that you stay on top of everything that's said and being planned and coordinated and all that good stuff. So lots of communication today, and that is the inspired action that you're taking. So maybe even you're sending out invitations. That could be too with the Eight of Wands, something like that. But some type of inspired action that has to do with quick communication. So that's what I've got for everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to put a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with others who could benefit from it. And of course, put your comments down below. Let me know if I'm hitting or if I'm missing. Either way, I'd be glad to hear. You guys have a fantastic day. Peace out.